What if I told you that Morpheus never asked the question, what if I told you? Hey, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. Let me show you what I did yesterday. Not this. So in yesterday's session, I made concept art for a character named the Spiker. And I made this to send off to another person, Isaac Ativas, who is putting together 3D models based on this concept art that I'm sending him. And our first one that we did was the heavy. Let me see if I've got the heavy here. Yeah, here's the heavy. And he made a pretty freaking awesome 3D model based on this very unpolished concept art. And I think he'll do the same for this one. So he did send me an update to the heavy, which includes, I think, an avatar, which can be used to hook up the heavy model to animation. I think in this session, I will just check that model real quick without actually trying to hook it up to animation in this session. And then what I really like to do after that is get the Apple of Infinite Speed working all the way. So I've shown all the pieces of it, but I haven't shown how it works in response to you, the player, walking through different areas of the level that cause it to react to you. So I'd like to get that working today. That's going to be my session goal. But I'll take a little detour first, check on Isaac's update to the heavy. No, I need to not make a habit of showing my personal mail inside of streams. Nothing sensitive that time, but maybe another time. It says, where do you want me to get rid of the body? And then I'll have exposed my criminal activities to you and the world, and that wouldn't be a good thing. It might say, where do you want me to keep your second set of books? Anyways, I'm not making good jokes. I'm just distracting myself. Let me continue. Thankless job updating Stack Overflow questions. I don't understand why people spend as much time as they do answering me. I try to be a good neighbor, good citizen, and make it worth everyone's while by writing good questions. Alright, so let's go over to Unity, and this is something I haven't really done before, which is if I already have imported one package and it's already here, what happens if I just import a newer version of the same package? So I've already got the heavy imported here, and from Isaac I've now got why am I not seeing it? Oh, there it is. Okay, here's the heavy too. So if I open this with 219.4, will it overwrite the old one? Will it mess up the instance of the old one? Will like the GUID be wrong afterwards? I don't know. I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna see what happens. It's interesting he's got a PSD in there. Worst thing is I'll have to redo the heavy, which didn't take me that long in the first place. Okay, it did just do an import over the original. Let's take a look. Okay, now he's got the avatar and everything set up there. So potentially I could play some animations with this. Let me just see if it works. If I go over to my animations, I think the way I gotta do it is, how does this work? Okay. Oh, yes. It works. It works. Isak came through. Woot! Alright, not to be self-indulgent, but let me try just a few more. Left step. Oh. Cool. So the way I've got my animations created is a little atypical, because the idea is that you would initiate just one step at a time. It's not like a smooth full cycle walk. That has to do with the nature of the game and how you control it. Let's see. So let's see. Push. Looking great. So, you know, this is some nice low poly work. I know you've probably seen like fancier 3D characters, but keep in mind this game, it'll have, you know, like 50 of these dudes running around, and they'll all be really far away. Your point of view for looking at yourself has you way down below about there. So there's no point in going high poly on this. So let's see. Here's a typical viewpoint. Right? Occasionally and a little closer. This is like really close as far as the game goes. There has to be some kind of a contrived situation or unusual situation to have the camera be this close to something. Most of the time they're out here. So it's good low poly work. I mean, there's character there. You can see it. And I'll be quite happy when Isak delivers the next thing. I'm tempted to go send him a congrats email right now, but I'm really trying to stop going into personal conversations in the middle of a stream. So, anyways, that is very cool for me. I also want to check with my prefab. Did my prefab get updated when I did that import? Okay, it did. So at some point I'll have to update the prefab. I could probably hack it. I could probably just figure out what the new GUID is inside the meta file and edit it directly. I shouldn't do that though. I really shouldn't. Unity wasn't designed to be updated with direct edits to text files and stuff like that. Should be read-only about the files. For making changes to them outside the IDE is just, it's risky. Okay, so let me move on to the work of the session, the mission, the thing which proves progress. Okay, I want these rings to get more excited when you get closer to them. I already have that stuff coded. What I don't have is the triggering working, which will cause them to go through their different states. So when you drop to the ground down here for the first time, they'll start to get a little more excited, these rings. The pitch will change, they'll move faster, they'll glow brighter. When you step on any of these stairs, they'll take it up one more notch, and they'll start to be a little bit freaky with all their flashing and humming. Then you get up to this platform here where the apple's at, and they go nuts. The sound is actually unpleasant. It sounds out of control. It sounds like you're about to do something stupid. Then you grab the apple, and then it kind of... I'm trying not to say kind of as much in these hedge words. You take the apple, and the rings dissipate. And they dissipate by why am I explaining it so much? Once I have it all coded, you're just going to see it. But it's a number of effects. They're already coded. The triggers that cause these different effects to initiate are not coded. So this session, I write the triggers. Or you could say I fix the existing triggers. Trigger warning. There's going to be triggers in this. I'm sorry for people that don't like my sense of humor. But you know when you grab some laundry off the ground and you wore it maybe once or twice before and then it doesn't smell good? That's what happened to me. I'm going to go pick something else to wear. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Okay, level controllers. That's the key to all of this. So level controllers. Start level. What if I just rename this to Paradise? Okay. And to the main object, I want to add a level controller. Okay, I think that's right. I think that's how it works. It's been a while since I used this code, so whoa, what was the stuff at the top? Yeah, this is some old stuff that I got done, so I don't need to use this. Okay, delete that little comment. Alright, yeah, it just gets the component from the same object for the level controller. And the level controller is code that causes things to happen which are specific to the level that you're on. I've got a bunch of zones here. I think I gotta make a whole bunch of zones. The nice thing about these zones is they decouple the code from from like containing coordinates inside of it. So I can put let's see, how does this work? God, I'm just forgetting. Either I put them inside a spatial, I think that's right, I think that's how it goes, or I put them inside a level. But let me go back to my scene organization code. Alright, so this is one of the nice times when an earlier version of me wrote something useful for the now version of me. Okay, so level areas are waypoints and zones that are not sectors. If it was a sector, I would put it under level. And sectors are also volumetric areas which have an additional grouping function. So level area waypoints and zones, they could just be used by the level controller, but if I want them to also group game objects in the scene underneath level, so I can get to things a little bit more easily, then I can stick them under the level game object. Okay. Zone. Okay, what will this be called? Birth room. This is where the main character is born for the first time. So if I turn the renderer off, you can still get the bounds of it. You just can't see it, which is what I want. I think. Yeah. I was considering make it an editor-only object, but then at runtime it would delete it. Prefer not to do that. Although I could definitely see the argument for loading the zone and then deleting it after the data from the bounds is already stored. Yeah, I don't want to optimize that right now. That's very premature. Okay, next thing. Birth room secret. If you don't want any spoilers, I guess skip ahead a few minutes, because I'm going to reveal the location of a secret pretty soon. Pretty soon. Come on. Come on. I hate this stupid thing. Okay. Next. West plank. Okay, west plank. I don't know if it's still west. Oh, I think I was saying this is the west room. You actually go south to get to it. But since it's in the west room, we'll call it the west plank. That makes sense. Sometimes I do things that aren't stupid. Whenever I make these areas, I try to make them not tied to the specific thing happening in the script. And they should just be intuitive for me to define where they're going to be. Or in other words, I should be able to come up with a reasonable set of bounds based on the name of the thing in question. So I wouldn't call this plank thing here God conversation start. I wanted to call it something spatial. Because if I tie it to an event, it's harder for me to recreate it later. And it's harder for me to reuse that same area for something besides the original intent, which is sometimes useful too. Like if I had the character, and there is actually this. So you're in the birth room, and then the character says some things, and then later on it's possible to come back to the birth room, and then she says a few more things. So there are two different events. But I don't want to use like the location name to be coupled to a specific event in the dialogue. I want it to be spatial, purely spatial. I want the description to be kind of easy for me to think about what it covers. So I haven't done too bad at that. I think the next one probably departs a little bit west drop. So I might just change this to west lower, west, drop. Yeah, and again here I've got fight is something that happens in the game. Let's say arena plank, arena lower. Then I'm tying it to a specific location, and that's going to be better. Oh, but the state, that's different. The state is the different events. Okay. Ah, it's an east drop too. Okay, so do I have that? No, there I've got beneath apple, so that's fine. Drop. Or even since the arena is all one thing, which is called arena. Okay, keep going. West plank, done. West lower. Okay, here's my feature request for Pro Builder. If you click on the surface selection tool, favor selecting the surface that fits the screen location you click, but is also part of the object that was previously selected. Because they keep on like selecting these other objects when I'm just trying to click on a different surface of the same object I already had selected, and it is annoying because there's information there about what my preference would be. They don't have to guess as much as they are. But I love that software and that team. It's actually a really good team. Or it was the times I interacted with them. Okay. Steps to east. So steps to the east. Basically, this is an opportunity for God to start complaining and saying, "Don't go that way. No, come on, don't go that way." Let's. I was thinking maybe I should let the player walk up a little bit before God starts saying, "Don't go that way," because it might give there to be more chance for other dialogue to unfold that would explain why he's saying don't go that way. So I could just say the east steps are up over here. Okay. Okay, then east plank. Just through the apple gate. Let's keep it down there. Okay, now I'm getting closer to the events that actually will trigger the apple. Or I should say the zones that will trigger the apple. Okay. So the first one that will trigger it is beneath apple. Okay. It's a little bit of work, but it's much, much better than entering in coordinates. Much better than that. Okay. Well, technically to be beneath the apple. Wait a minute, what am I looking at? This is weird. Okay, that might be right. Nope. There we go. Something seems off on this though. Something seems a little not right. What is that? Maybe I'm just getting... Huh. Okay, that's fine. So... this one is beneath apple. Okay. I gotta see how the priority works on the zones. No, that's not going to help me. So the problem I'm trying to address is if I've got two overlapping zones how do I check for one before another? Now I remember though. I remember. The way it works is the order of the zones. I almost remember. And this is it. So this is the order it checks. So if I want one zone to be considered before another, I just put it before it. So it's okay for apple steps to overlap beneath apple, because I'll check first for apple steps if we're inside of it and return that if we are. Otherwise, I'll check next for beneath apple. Okay, that solves that. The past version of me that wrote this code was not an idiot. I just wouldn't do something incredibly stupid. So annoying. There we go. So this one's called Apple Steps. Okay, then the Apple platform. So annoying. So annoying. There we go. If you don't like airplanes, don't live where I live. If you like airplanes, where I live is just wonderful. I think I'm right in the middle. I don't particularly like or dislike them more than the average person. this one is for picking up the apple. And you'd say, really? You're gonna have like special code to pick up the apple? Why don't you just write something with the apple itself that's automatic, that wherever you place it and move on to it, it'll pick it up? The answer to that is there is only one instance of the apple in the whole game. It's not worth my effort. It's not worth my effort. Although, arguably, I had to do this 2 times, and if I had written some inherent pickup behavior to the apple, I wouldn't be doing this a second time. The first time it worked, then my project broke and crashed and I had to recreate it, and yeah, this is the second time getting this to work. Okay, so did I name everything right? Apple Steps, Apple Platform. Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Is this overextending? It is overextending. Okay, that's cool. So I don't need it for the apple, but I'm already on a roll, so let me finish the rest. By the way, most levels in the game will not require the same amount of attention as I put on this level. This is the very first level of the game, and it is complex because it tells a lot of story, and it does it without cutscenes. I'm against cutscenes. I want all the story to happen while you're playing, and I don't want you to be bored waiting around for the cutscene to end. I want you, the player, to just start playing and have some story happen while you play. And I think this level accomplishes that goal quite well. Let me not call this Exit Apple Platform. Let me call it East Perimeter. Am I spelling perimeter correctly? Yes. Perimeter. Okay, is this going too high? No, that's fine. Okay, more spoilers. If you don't want to see the secret area, skip ahead until the next place where you see my head full screen. Call them planks. They're not really planks, but the idea is it's like a one-way drop. And the pirates say walk the plank. At the end of the plank, you fall off into the water. And I think it's going to be a common enough concept that I want just a simple word like plank that always sort of means the same thing. It'd be pretty frequent to have these drops, but also the plank serves an extra purpose in that it gives you a vantage point of what it is that you're dropping down to. This was originally more plank-like in that it had an overhang, but I found that the camera switches when you walked underneath the plank were jarring, distracting, so I just made it solid all the way down. Okay, zone here for the plank, and I'm remembering an issue I have with this design, which is that the player could just fling out without seeing what's going on down here. I would like to slow them down a little bit. And I know how to do that. I may have to adjust my level design a little bit. Also, sometimes ISO is nice. A little bit easier to see what's going on, but it only seems to do well for me when I'm outdoors or there's not some object I have to get underneath to see what it is that I want to work on. If there's a ceiling above me, the ISO view is terrible. Okay. Let's call that the plank area. Well, let's extend it. That way if characters have something to say, they'll start saying it earlier. Okay. So the thing I was thinking about is if I just have a gap in the wall here, then that will prevent the player from flinging, and that will slow them down a little bit. When they get over to here, and they might have zipped over here really fast, but they get over to here, and then it's if they try flinging east, they won't be able to because it would go off the end of the level and that would be blocked. So let me see if I can accomplish that without too much work. One thing that'll help me to create like a little marker. There I am saying like again. Like, kind of, sort of. I will create a marker. Oh. I'm not sick. The fan blows up my nose. It makes me sneeze. Actually, pretty cold. Okay. So this will be here temporarily just so I can see what position I need to bring this to. Actually, let's go a little further this way. Okay, that's my guide. It's not kind of my guide. It's not like my guide. It's not sort of my guide. It's not my guide of sorts. It is my guide. I want to speak better than I do. I will try. I will try to speak better than I do. Maybe to speak better, I have to think better, though. That's the scary part. What if my thinking is just shoddy? All right. ISO view. Okay, I like that. So if I just take this and pull 3. I see some UV nonsense there, and I'm pessimistic about my ability to fix it. What I've been seeing in this more recent version of Pro Builder is that whenever there's a UV issue around the textures, it doesn't just auto-correct after a bit, it just stays like that, and I don't want it to be that way. So let's just undo that, assume that I'm going to handle this differently. I'm going to try one more time, see if it still messes up. Yeah, immediately. Immediately. Okay. One, two, three. Okay. And this is now going way the fuck out, further than I want it to. So I'll bring it back in. Okay. And I will need something for this gap here. Just do something easy. So this is definitely a tangent, but it's useful work that I remembered now that I might not remember later. Okay, so there's the edge. Let's see how it looks from the other side. I can get rid of my marker. Okay, that may actually just be a nice improvement on the aesthetics as well. So, cool. Alright, it seemed like I had one more zone to define. I think it was arena. I will say that it's I guess a shortcoming of my zone system that I can only do cuboids. I could, in the future, do something like a collection of cuboids defining an area. But for now, this is sufficing. I don't like to make solutions that are more complicated than they need to be. This thing's so weird. No, that's not what I wanted to do. This doesn't matter though. I mean, kind of fiddling with it out of perfectionism. I'm about ready to give up. Because I'm clicking on these other objects. I'm just trying to click the one I intend to. And it's not letting me. But in truth, I know it doesn't need to extend all the way out here. With that knowledge is coupled to the events in the script. And it's a little bit incorrect for me to not have it actually do the whole area. Let me do something not perfectionist. This will work. There's nothing wrong with this. You're being an idiot, Eric. Don't be stupid. Get shit done. Because you got a lot of work to do. And more interesting work than this. Okay, let me make sure I don't have any of these still with their mesh renderers on. I still do. Some of them do. Let's turn them all off. There we go. And save. Build to find the errors. Okay. The hard part of this whole exercise Might actually be a build issue. I hope not. Okay, thank you. This is going to be not exit Apple platform, but east perimeter. Yay! Okay, cool. So let me skip past all the other story events here and start the character further along. I can have the state start at east open. Okay. I think some of the subtitle stuff is gonna screw up because I don't think I re-enabled anything for subtitles. Let's try it, see what happens. I give this a 7% chance of working the first time. I'm really hitting play just to see what breaks. So I don't want to fix everything. I want to just see the apple, and then on a different session I'll come back and work on other issues for getting the level controller script fully working. Oh, I got maximize on play, I think. So all the code's there. There's some kind of other error that was introduced, probably with the subtitles, that made it so that the player would not update when I pressed her keys. But I was kind of controlling an invisible version of her, so I could deduce where her position was by some different cues, but the screen wasn't updating to show her there. So I'm expecting console will have lots of errors. What is the thing it's complaining about? Couldn't find the door daemon, that's one. How do we find him? Okay. So there's this stuff here. Daemon, C apple. Let's no reason to log the reactants there. I don't think there is. No, well, actually there is something kind of nice about that. It helps me fix this particular problem. So there's two of them. The one that is lower is going to be the daemon. 531126. Apple, it's going to be at 53, page 11, 26. Oh, those are, wait a minute. Okay, so those are CRH. C Apple is going to be 53. Wait a minute. CRH. So it's the first one. So 51, 17, 14. Okay. So C would be -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Subtract 5. Which puts him at 46. Okay. Okay, so it's pretty simple. It's just not finding that daemon at the beginning, and so later on this command gets called with a null value passed to it, which causes other code in the main update loop not to execute because it throws an exception right here. So that's the basic explanation for why my player piece is not updating. That all checks. Another hedge word, basic. Fucking hell. Sorry, there was a sound like an explosion. I need to go see what the hell that was. I don't know what I mean, there's no other word for it. It was an explosion. I just don't know what kind of explosion it was. But it was loud. It was a boom. I can't see smoke out there. I'll listen for sirens and stuff like that. I'll listen for like an Amber Alert on my phone if there is something actually dangerous. But for now, I'll just assume it's nothing threatening me personally. And it might be something I read about in the news tomorrow. Back to work. I'm trying to remember what I was thinking or talking about. I think I wanted to... I just wanted to check that I'm picking up the daemon. Find door daemon. I'll see. I don't have to set a breakpoint. It's either going to be wrong or right. I'll see it right when it starts up. Also, where is my friggin' light map? Give me my light map back. Okay. Ooh. Let's save and exit. Probably going to be a setting someplace I can tweak that just makes more memory available in this page file thing. Okay. So my overall system is not short on memory, and the disk space, there's plenty. Plenty. Terabyte plus. Alright, let's see. What does the console say when I start? Found it. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. I would like to see it once more just for good showmanship with the light map completed. I do also think it deserves one more nifty particle effect right at the pickup spot. Because it's, I don't know, it just doesn't look good to have the apple just disappear. Should be a particle effect. The other thing I could do is I could just have it shrink to nothing. That wouldn't be bad. Let me just kind of, well. I could take this and I could just scale it down. So I think maybe I don't want to do that. This stupid problem with the whatever this thing is called, this anchor point, rotation point. It gets set to weirdly random places. And there's no way to just in Unity just drag this to where you want it to be. I don't know why they haven't done that by now. It's fucking irritating. There's some hacks to kind of fidget it into the right place, but pain in the ass. Okay, there's the sirens. Okay. So there are sirens in my neighborhood after the boom. You know, I'm not going to be able to learn anything about it right now. I just, as curious as I am, look, it's too soon for there to be news about it. And wherever the event was, it's not something I can get to easily, and you've got emergency people going there, and I don't want to be walking over there to gawk at whatever it is. I hope no one's hurt. I hope it wasn't a hate or politically motivated thing. Yeah, I'll just have to get more information about it a little bit later. Okay. So I guess I just want some kind of particle effect. I think that's what I want. Let me try this. I just make this 0. Where does that put it? No, that's a bad place. It's hard to tell where a particle effect is actually emitting from. Then I live right next to an airport, and I keep also looking at the sky for helicopters, military craft, but it's fruitless because there's an airplane that will go by every minute or so because of the airport. Now that's a possibility. Oh fuck, I don't even like to think about that, but if there's any kind of terrorist type activity, I shouldn't speculate, but we live right next to an airport. I shouldn't speculate. I'll see it on the news soon enough. I know I'm not in any kind of immediate danger. Okay. So I'm going to let it loop for now, but eventually I'm going to change it to be a one-time effect. I just forget where all the things are. Takes me forever. There's just so many things to look through. Okay. I don't really understand why they're going off in that one direction. So somewhere there is a place to set like the direction that they're going to be moving in. I understand why you go up, but why are you also going off to the side? Yeah. So it's correct that you're going up. Thank you. But why are you also going sideways? I figured this out once before. It's just one of these stupid so all these are unchecked. Oh, there's my light map. The shape? Shape might influence it. Yeah, it's the shape. Alright, so let's do... Now it's starting to look like it could be cool. If I can just get it rotated the right way. 270. Yeah. Okay. Now we're getting it. That's a pretty reasonable effect. Oh, thanks, Davey Sleeves. Yeah, like it's a little bit of a trick. So, when the player steps on the square where this apple is, the apple disappears, but that's anticlimactic. Just have it disappear and unrealistic looking, and there isn't really any realistic animation to put there, because what is the player doing with the apple? Is she eating this giant apple? No, she's not doing that. So if I just put a little blast of particles on top of it, then it's sort of like, you know, after the smoke clears or particles clear, the apple's gone. It should look alright. So that's my hope. Nope. I'm just using standard pipeline. How about you? I imagine you've got a Unity project too. Are you using a different pipeline? Yeah, it's fun to add the post-processing, though. So everything suddenly starts looking a lot better. The bloom stuff I like a lot. I'm probably overusing it, but it's pretty. So let's go to the apple. Let's see. That's cool. Yeah, I played with some different shaders for disintegration effects, and there's definitely some neat ones out there. I just couldn't get any that looked right for what I was trying to accomplish. Of course, I don't know much about shaders. One of these days I end up writing some, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so particle system. Disappearing particles. Disappear particles, okay. It loads some samples, some wave samples, that create melodic sound effects. And so it's got some different notes that make up one melodic sound effect. And the melodic sound effect can play in any pitch. Uses interpolation to find the notes in between the samples. Let's see. Okay, then we do, let's see, disappear particles. Start or play? I think it's play. Okay. So let's see. Okay, hide out. So I want to hide the apple, but I don't want to hide everything. So right now it's going to hide everything. I really want to hide the offset. Probably the rings too, but not the particles, because they're plain. Just hide all of these guys here. I don't have to be really efficient about it either. I can just look up my oh wait, I already do have it working that way. So I'm getting the offset. Cool. Setting that to false. I'm not hiding the top level. So this might work the first try, maybe. If it compiles. Stupid nonsense. Alright. This is the melodic sound effect I was talking about. Alright, that's it. I think it's looping. I gotta turn off the loop on it. Other than that, it's good. Thanks, Davey. So I always like to end these sessions like right after I get something to work right for the first time, or after I get the thing that I set out to do completed. So this is going to be the end of the session. Thanks for joining me. Feel free to come back sometime, obviously. And I'll catch you later. Stopping the stream now.